How's it going all? Welcome back to Late Night Movies. Tonight, we will be discussing the 2016 Korean thriller movie titled, The Tunnel. The Tunnel tells the unfortunate story of a man who got himself trapped in a poorly constructed tunnel while driving on his home. With the help of all Koreans, can one person trapped in this tunnel survive? But before getting into the story, let's take a moment to press the subscribe button first, as a form of your support to us. Thanks y'all, so let's get straight to the point. The movie begins at a gas station where Lee Young-soo decides to gas up his car before continuing his trip. An old man working at the station mistakenly filled the car full tank contrary to Young-soo's instruction, causing delays in the transaction. He kept his cool despite the mistake and just let it slide. As a form of apology, the old man gave his kind customer 2 bottles of water. Then he continued on his way to his homes. With his daughter's birthday cake in the back seat, Young-soo carefully drove down the road. He munched on fast food French fries to ease his hunger during the drive. His wife was talking about getting their child a puppy on the car speaker, and the GPS warned about a tunnel ahead. Shortly after, his boss called, so he told his wife that they'll talk later. Young-soo and his boss were talking business as he drove through the Haedo Tunnel. The tunnel crosses through the hills and measures a length of 1,961 meters. Moments after hanging up with his boss, Young-soo heard weird noises from the parts of the tunnel he just passed through. Wide-eyed in worry and panic, he looked around. Then, all the lights went off. Here we see the male lead breathing heavily as he drives through the dark tunnel. The lights fluctuated and the strange noises continued. Much to his shock, the tunnel starts collapsing and his car speed couldn't escape the inevitable danger ahead. Young-soo is now faced with the unfortunate truth: he is trapped inside the tunnel. As he opened his bloodshot eyes, his face was covered in dust and debris. Before he could even make a move to get out, the tunnel continued to collapse, leaving him further injured and helpless. He moves carefully to grab his phone. If he's not careful, his car would move further down the wreckage. He tried calling the emergency hotline, but there was no network connection. He tried again and his call successfully got through. Young-soo reported that he's trapped in Haedo Tunnel and that it's still currently collapsing. After confirming his location, the receiver kept asking questions and insisting it was a rockslide. Young-soo had to repeat several times that the tunnel itself collapsed. We can feel the frustration and anger build up in his voice with the lack of sense of urgency from the emergency hotline. The receiver told him to wait in a safe place and with no traffic, they will arrive in about 5 minutes. The call abruptly ended, leaving Young-soo alone in the cold, dark tunnel, hoping that help would soon come for him. To calm himself down while waiting to be rescued, he grabbed one of the water bottles from the old man at the gas station. He thirstily gulped the water down, letting every drop quench his desperation. On the other side of the tunnel, the emergency team arrived. Much to their shock, the spot where Haedo Tunnel once stood is now just a mountain of fallen debris. The look on their faces suggests that this will not be a quick and easy rescue operation. The collapse of the month-old tunnel was all over the news, confirming that at least one person was trapped inside. Se-hyun was just on her way out of the grocery store when she heard the grim news. Her husband Lee Young-soo was the man trapped under the collapsed tunnel. Young-soo's phone rang, and the call turns out to be from a TV news reporter who wants to cover his story. A piece of news like this would definitely make the headlines and increase viewership for the TV station. The reporter asked him about his feelings after revealing to him that it will be a long-term rescue operation. Both entrances of the Haedo Tunnel are deemed impassable. Upon learning that the news channel contacted Young-soo, the rescue task force chief named Kim Dae-kyung got into a heated argument with the producer. He was concerned that if Jung-soo's phone battery dies, the survivor might fall into heightened panic in his isolation, and afraid it might lead to a heart attack. The phone, he said, was Jung-soo's lifeline. A few minutes later, Dae-kyung got to talk to Jung-soo on the phone, asking him to calm down and control his agitation. He told the survivor that he's in charge of the operation and that the situation is not that simple. Jung-soo was given reassurance that he will be saved, but it will take some time. When asked if he has food and water to get himself through the whole waiting game, we see the lead character cover his face with his hands in a moment of uncertainty and despair. Dae-kyung gave him instructions to ration the water for 7 days, and that they'll rescue him before he drinks all the water he has left. Doubt clouded Jung-soo's mind and asked the task force chief if he can really be rescued. Dae-kyung then told him that they are the best rescuers in Korea. As Jung-soo holds on to every inch of hope that he will be saved, his wife Se-hyun calls and asks how he is. She was crying in deep concern but tried to keep herself together in front of their daughter Soo-jin. Jung-soo talks to the birthday girl and apologizes that he won't be able to make it to her celebration because of work. Here, we witness a father's love when he promised Soo-jin to bring her a cake and a puppy once he comes home. The tear-jerking scene makes the audience further root for Jung-soo, wishing that he will truly survive and make it out alive in the end. With nothing left to do but wait, Jung-soo falls into a dreamless sleep. In order to take a closer look inside the tunnel, both the press and the rescue team flew in drones. But the cameras failed to capture what was going on as they lost the signal. A few seconds later, this is when Dae-kyung and his subordinate rode a van and braved the tunnel. The former got out of the van and inspected the damage firsthand. He saw the blockage and realized the severity of the collapse. Jung-soo heard the car horn and called Dae-kyung, confirming that he's nearby. This gave both parties hope that things may be resolved sooner than they initially thought. However, they might have celebrated too soon as the tunnel was nowhere near finished collapsing. Steel panels from the roof and cement debris threatened to also put the rescuers in grave danger. The chief instructed the survivor to lie down as low as he can. He then manically drove the van in reverse as the tunnel continued to fall right before their eyes. The thrill-induced sequence shows that Dae-kyung made it out of the tunnel, cut to the scene where Se-hyun hurriedly runs toward the tunnel entrance. Dae-kyung tried to call Jung-soo to check if he's alive and well. The latter was able to respond and confirmed his precise location through the number on the huge fan that fell on his car. Through this new information, the rescue team sent helicopters and started drilling on the site towards Jung-soo, who was 180 m underground. On the third day of the collapse, we see how he tries to ration his food and water. This doesn't only show a man's hunger and thirst, but his will to survive. He scoured through the back compartment of his car and saw some helpful items. While inspecting the rest of his things, he heard a sound and realized he wasn't alone. Out of nowhere, there it was staring right at him, an unscathed bulldog. Then another voice came, a young woman pleading for help. He then attempts to locate the presence of the sound by crawling past the fan. When he reached the woman's car, he saw how a huge rock completely blocked the steering wheel and windshield, making the woman unable to move at all. Jung-soo tried to calm her down and assured her that the entire country is mobilizing rescue efforts to save them. The bulldog was wearing an anti-bark collar, went close to his owner's face and licked it, as though telling her that it's gonna be okay. The woman felt a sense of relief, but also felt the dryness in her throat. He asked Jung-soo if he had any water. With a strong sense of humanity, Jung-soo gave water to the woman, even though he knew that the water in the bottle was just enough to survive for the next few days. In her desperation, the woman asked him if he could also give her beloved pet dog some water. His eyes hesitated, but he also understood that this is the right thing to do. She also requested if she could look for her phone, but it was found severely damaged and no longer working. The young woman, whom we now know as Mina, asked if she could use Jung-soo's phone for one call to her mom. When Mina decided to get some sleep, Jung-soo went back to his car and had some of her daughter's birthday cake. He saved a part of it, saying he'd eat the rest with his daughter. Exhausted, he dozed off. A movement beneath his feet jolted him awake, and found the dog eating what was left of the cake. For the first time since the collapse, we watch a mad, upset Jung-soo barely trying to keep his cool in the situation he's in. Mina calls Jung-soo for help, saying how the side of her body hurts so much, and that she finds it difficult to breathe. The weight of the rock on her chest is only making her weaker by the minute. She asked for water and said sorry for drinking most of their supply, but Jung-soo didn't have the heart to refuse. He fetched the water bottle from his car, and when he came back, Mina seemed to have fallen asleep again. But Mina stopped responding at all. Jung-soo desperately tried to lift the fallen rock away from Mina's chest, but when he finally did, it was too late. A steel bar was pierced right through the young woman's chest, and Jung-soo couldn't help but break down in tears. Jung-soo attempted so hard to save the woman's life, but in the end she cannot be helped. Here, some of you may have been annoyed at the presence of the woman and her dog who made consumed Jung-soo's limited food and water supply, which may cause him to die sooner. Now he has to survive for the next few days by drinking only a small bottle of water. Days have passed, but the rescue team still hasn't managed to save him. With no drinking water left from his limited resources, he was forced to drink his own urine to survive and also forced to eat dog food. Imagining it was orange juice, Jung-soo was on the verge of drinking his own urine again when he heard and saw water dripping from one part of the collapsed area. He excitedly called his wife and told her that he's drinking water. This light-hearted moment gave viewers a relief from the lead's excruciating journey. As the snow started falling on the mountains of Haedo, a pivotal moment came. The rescue team finally drilled a piece of the tunnel. The spokesperson told the media that they will be able to reach the tunnel the following day and can get Jung-soo out soon. During the drilling process, however, they figured that something was not right. The blueprint that they were using as reference was apparently inaccurate. Much to their dismay, they have been drilling on the wrong spot for 17 days. What a waste of time and effort in a situation where time is definitely of the essence. With the whole area now covered in snow, they had to start again from scratch. Daekyung apologized to Jung-soo and informed him that they dug at the wrong place. We can see the sense of despair in both of their voices, leaving feelings of sadness and frustration. Jung-soo shouts in anger and helplessness, left with little to no more glimmer of hope that he can get out of the tunnel alive. A deeply worried Seo-hyun tried to help her husband calm down over the phone. His battery was dying. He started saying his farewells to his wife and told her that he can't go on any longer. Jung-soo is already distraught with his condition, but his wife continues to encourage him and also threatens him if he dies then he and his son will also die. If you die, Soo-jin and I will die, too. Seo-hyun yelled, crying as she pleaded Jung-soo to live for their sake. Drenched in the snow with tears still rolling down her cheeks, Seo-hyun barely managed to walk a few steps before she lost her remaining strength and fainted. 23 days since the collapse and 1 week since contact was lost, everyone and the government had planned to stop the rescue mission because there was no hope that Jung-soo would survive. The operation also cost a lot of money, plus there was an incident that caused one of the rescue teams to die. It was the catalyst to stop the rescue operation. Seo-hyun breaks down after the deceased man's mother confronts her, and when she was told that they should stop the rescue operations before someone else gets hurt. After 27 days of fruitless rescue missions, Jung-soo's rescue operation has now been officially dismissed. In a heartbreaking message to her husband through the radio, Seo-hyun reluctantly told him not to wait anymore, because no one was coming. Almost everyone believes that he's already dead, but Se-hyun believes in her heart that Young-soo was still alive. Yet, she was forced to accept that they will no longer be trying to rescue him. It was painful to watch Young-soo say, "I'm still alive," knowing that his wife was left with no choice but to give up searching for him. He desperately tried to revive his phone and make contact, but it was in vain. With all the strength he had left, he crawled through the blockages to make his way out of the tunnel. On the other side, an angry Dae-kyung went back to the drilling site and desperately wanted to continue the operations. Everyone already gave up, but the task force chief refused to stop trying. He himself went down the tunnel to check whether Young-soo was dead or alive. However, he was hastily brought back up as the Hato construction was trying to blast the area to build their second tunnel. Then the tunnel exploded, causing a great shock to the entire area. He hurriedly went back to his car and repeatedly honked the car horn. The loud honking sound was picked up by Dae-kyung's device from the ground. It was exhilarating when Dae-kyung orders everyone to stop the detonation and announces that Young-soo is alive in the tunnel. Covered in falling debris, Young-soo continued to honk the car in his final attempt to call for help. On the 35th day after the collapse, the rescue team went down the tunnel upon the confirmation that Young-soo was indeed alive. Dae-kyung found him lying face forward in a bed of huge rocks. After over a month of trying, failing, and trying again, the team finally carried Young-soo out of the tunnel. The media was in a frenzy, badly wanting to cover every part of the momentous event. A path was cleared for Se-hyun, whose first words upon seeing Young-soo alive were, "I'm sorry." When they were about to board the chopper, Hato's staff told them to wait for the minister. Young-soo then whispered something to Dae-kyung. The curious people from the press asked what Young-soo's first words to the world were after his rescue. It was a liberating moment when Dae-kyung shouted the words, "All of you assholes fuck off," to which Young-soo responded with a thumbs up. Finally, Young-soo and his wife can be together again. While he and his wife were driving through a tunnel again, we can see how Young-soo was still terrified and traumatized, but ultimately, he overcame his fear, and the movie comes to an end. So, what do you think about this movie? Do you think it's too much, just to save one life? Regardless, here we can learn that in every difficulty there will always be hope, and also his love for the family trumps all his pain. And the important message is also when the old man gave 2 bottles of water to Young-soo, which he may have underestimated at that time. But unexpectedly, those 2 bottles of water became very valuable for his survival. So we should always appreciate small things like this. Alright guys, this video is over. We hope you enjoyed the video as much as we did. If you have movie recommendations, please let us know in the comment sections and we'd gladly feature them for you. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Thank you and see you again soon.